Okay, dividing polynomials, Unit 2, Day 3. So an algorithm for dividing a polynomial is polynomial long division. So you've done long division before, probably when you're pretty young. This is now polynomial long division. So we're just going to take that prior knowledge and we're going to expand it. So a polynomial to be divided by another number, or polynomial, is a dividend. The number that is divided is the divisor. The term with a degree of 1 is linear. The answer to a division problem is the quotient. The part of the dividend that is left over when the dividend is not evenly divisible by the divisor, there's a lot of D's there, is the remainder. And the solution of a polynomial equation is, I guess we will do those later. Cool. Okay, so first we're going to divide these ones. Okay, so we have 4x cubed y squared plus 8x y squared minus 12x squared y cubed. And we're dividing it by 4xy. So we're going to divide each individual term by xy, or by 4xy. Sorry, I'm having a hard time right now. Okay, so we're just going to divide each of those. We look at that first one. So 4 divided by 4 is 1. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Y squared divided by y is y. Okay, we go to the next term. 8 divided by 4 is 2. X divided by x cancels. Y squared over y, you're left with y. Okay, then the last one. 12 divided by 4 is 3, and it's a minus because that minus is just going to stay. X squared divided by x is x. Y cubed divided by y is y squared. And that's our answer. We're done. Let's do the same thing with b. So we're going to divide each of those by 6xy. So 9 divided by 6 is 3/2. Those just reduce. They don't completely divide evenly. X squared divided by x is x. Y divided by y cancels. So that first term is 3x over 2. The second one, 12 divided by 6 is 2. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Y squared divided by y is y. The last one, 15 divided by 6 reduces to 5/2. X divided by x cancels. Y cubed divided by y, you're left with y squared. Okay? Oh, and you can also rewrite that as 3/2 x plus 2x squared y minus 5/2 y squared. I'm good with either way though. Okay, so now let's just review long division. So if we have 496 divided by 16, let's just draw our long division thing. So first we have to see how many times does 16 go into 49. It goes in 3 times. Then you do 3 times 16 is 48. Then you subtract, you get 1. We're going to bring down the 6. 16 goes into 16 one time. 1 times 16 is 16. Subtract, you're left with 0, so we don't have a remainder on that one. Okay, let's look at B. So we have 3,206 divided by 19. So we see how many times does 19 go into 32? It goes in once. 1 times 19 is 19. You subtract. You're left with 13. Bring down the 0. How many times does 19 go into 130? It's 6 times. 6 times 19 is 114. Subtract. You're left with 16. Bring down the 6. How many times does 19 go in 166? It's 8 times. 8 times 19 is 152. Subtract that. You're left with 14. And we don't have any other numbers to bring down, so that's our remainder, and we're just going to put it as a fraction. So it's going to be 14 over 19. So it's 168 and 14 over 19. Okay? So the steps to long division are first you divide, then you multiply, then you subtract, then you bring down the next number, then you repeat, and you just keep repeating until you get to a point where you can't bring down any more numbers, and then the remainder is a quotient. Okay? So now let's put those same steps into dividing polynomials. Okay? So let's look at example A. We have 4x squared plus 9x plus 6 divided by x plus 6. So the 4x plus 9x plus 6 is inside, x plus 6 is on the outside. So to divide, you do first with first. When I say first with first, I mean x with 4x squared. Okay. So you see, what is 4x squared divided by x? It's 4x. So that's what goes up top. Now you multiply. 4x, you have to multiply it to both numbers. So 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times 6 is 24x. Now you subtract. And when you subtract, you change both the signs. So I'm going to put them in parentheses and put the subtraction on the outside. Then I'm going to distribute that subtraction in. So 4x squared minus 4x squared is gone. And then 9x minus 24x is negative 15x. Okay? Then you bring down the next number. So I'm going to bring down the 6. Then again, we're just going to repeat. So we're going to go back to dividing. What is negative 15x divided by x? It's negative 15. Then you multiply. Negative 15 times x is negative 15x. Negative 15 times 6 is negative 90. You subtract, put them in parentheses, change the signs. Negative 15x plus 15x cancels. 6 plus 90 is 96. I don't have any other numbers to bring down, so that's my remainder, which I'm going to write as a quotient. So it's going to be 96 over x plus 6. You always write it over whatever you are dividing by. Okay, so it's 4x minus 15 plus 96 over x plus 6. And that's your final answer. Okay, pretty straightforward. Let's do another one. So again, we're just going to use the same steps. And let's look at example A. So we have 30a cubed minus 27a squared minus 39a minus 2 divided by 6a plus 3. So you divide. You do first with first. So 30a cubed divided by 6a is 5a squared. That goes up top. Then you multiply. So 5a squared times 6a is 30a cubed. 5a squared times 3 is 15a squared. Then you subtract, change those signs, and you're left with the 30's cancel. Negative 27a squared minus 15a squared is negative 42a squared. Bring down the negative 39a. Then you do first with first again, because we're just repeating. So negative 42a divided by 6a is negative 7a. So negative 7a, now we're going to multiply. Negative 7a times 6a is negative 42a squared. Negative 7a times 3 is negative 21a. Subtract, change those signs. The 42a squareds cancel. 39a, or negative 39a plus 29a is negative 18a. Bring down the 2. And then again, we're just going to do first with first. So negative 18a over 6a is negative 3. Negative 3 times 6a is negative 18. Negative 3 times 3 is negative 9. Subtract, change those signs. And you're left with 7. We don't have anything left to bring down. That is my remainder. So the final answer is 5a squared minus 7a minus 3 plus 7 over 6a plus 3. Okay. Do one more example. So first what I want to talk about this negative 1 right here. Okay, that means that this is being divided. So that means this is the same thing as 2x cubed plus 12x squared plus 12x plus 19 over x squared plus 5x plus 5. So this negative 1 just drops it down into the denominator. Okay. So we can just divide this the same way we've been dividing these. So the 2x cubed plus 12x squared plus 12x plus 19 is inside. X squared plus 5x plus 5 is on the outside. Then you just do first with first. So 2x cubed divided by 2x cubed divided by x squared is 2x. That goes up top. Now we multiply. 2x times x squared is 2x cubed. 2x times 5x is 10x squared. 2x times 5 is 10. Then we subtract, change all those signs. 2x cubed minus 2x cubed cancel. 12x squared minus 10x is 2x squared. 12x minus 10x is 2x. Now I'm going to bring down the 19. And again, first with first. So 2x squared divided by x squared is 2. So 2 times 2x squared is, or 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract, change those signs. So that's negative 8x plus 9 because the 2x squareds cancel. We don't have anything left to bring down. That is my remainder. So it's 2x plus 2 plus negative 8x plus 9 over x squared plus 5x plus 5. And you're done. Okay? So if we want to state if a binomial is a factor of a given polynomial, you always have to make sure the polynomials are in standard form. That's what we should have been checking before. I knew they're in standard form, so I didn't bother to. But make sure before you divide these, make sure they are in standard form. You'll get all sorts mixed up if they aren't. Okay? And then once they're in standard form, in order to determine if a binomial is a factor, you divide the binomial into the polynomial. So you just divide like we were doing before. If you end up with a remainder, then it is not a factor. If you don't end up with a remainder, then it is a factor. Okay? Because if you don't have a remainder, that means it goes in evenly. If you have a remainder, it does not go in evenly. Okay? And then which expression is equal to that? You should be able to figure that out by dividing it. I want you guys to do this one and see if you can figure out the right answer. I'll give it to you in class, okay? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Please take the quiz.